BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 529 of BRB UK. That's right. That means we've done more than 10 years of this nonsense. If you divide that by 10, that gets you the number of weeks. 529 weeks. 529 divided by 10 is 52. It's lots. Why are we still doing this, Coleman? Tell me why.
Hi, because I won't stop editing.
Tell me why. Tell me, sweet. What?
As long as I keep planning the show and editing the show, then I think you guys keep turning up to do the show.
Yeah, we do.
No, in truth, neither me or Dan have been on the show for more than like a year now. Like Coleman's just like spliced us together using AI and soundboard technology.
100% chat GPT and soundboards is what we are.
Mate, as soon as I get those, I was playing around with AI, the voice recognition stuff, and as soon as I get like a celebrity voice to text thing, but we just do our own version of that, and then GPT and AI editing. Once all that's done, then we just won't bother doing the show. We'll just put it out automatically.
Perhaps we can do that already, and no one's the wiser.
What we do is we put up regular AI shows every week, and then we set up a Patreon, and then we do one show on there a month, and that's the real show.
And if you pick which one it is, you get a prize. If you can correctly identify which one isn't just robots. Although I do take offence at the term artificial intelligence if Tim's involved. I think artificial belligerence is probably the more accurate. Artificial belligerence. Yep. What it is. Or your actual belligerence, actually. Come to think of it.
Actual, basically.
Yeah. I'm going to have to think about that one. Actually, basically. Coleman, looking at today's lovely crafted agenda. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
All right.
You appear to have the most games, which is rather unusual.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Although one of them appears to be power washing Lara Croft, which I want to hear more about.
Okay, you pick the one that's not the required mandatory review title that I need to talk about, but okay.
No, we don't need to talk it straight away. I just want to flag that there is a weird Power Wash Simulator Tomb Raider crossover. Can't quite work it out. I don't know whether or not it's slightly inappropriate late 90s wetness going on.
Not suitable
I'll
for
leave
work.
that there. Not suitable for work, or whether or not you are doing something wholesome and lovingly washing down dusty artifacts so you can display them in a museum.
Don't call Lara Croft a dusty artifact. That's rude.
I mean, she's no spring chicken anymore. I mean, good on her. She's looking pretty good for how old? She must be like in her 50s now if you work it out canonically. Because she was probably in her late 20s in the 90s.
Weren't we all?
So she's probably, I think she's doing good for herself. God bless her. Keep raiding those tombs, Lara. You do you, love. Anyway, that's enough looks of disdain I've got from the internet for one day. My work here is done.
So Power Wash Simulator is now available on all the platforms, and to celebrate, there is a new free pack available, and people forget that Power Wash Simulator is actually published by Square Enix for some reason, and because of that, you're going to see some sort of Squeenixy back catalogue type DLC coming soon. The first of which is the Tomb Raider Special Patch, which you can download for free right now. And it's basically there's a campaign and a free mode for Power Wash Simulator, like there exists already. And that either means you are working in the allotted order while you're receiving text, like the campaign of the original game anyway. Although instead of from your regular customers, you are receiving text from the butler of Croft Manor and Lara Croft herself.
Okay.
While you are cleaning
you're getting Lara Croft is sliding into your Power Wash DMs.
Correct.
Amazing.
Correct.
Wow. I'm filthy. Hose me down.
And that's why, talking.
Is that what she's saying?
That is, but not of her. The filth is actually around the Croft Manor, which for some reason is absolutely covered in black and green slime. I don't know why.
Why is it covered in black and green slime?
I don't know, but it's huge.
Because she's
and
been
it's
off on
multi-layer.
like
and you've got to use...
tropical islands for years, tomb raiding, and no one's at home to clean up.
But she's got a butler. If you can afford to have a butler, you should at least make him. What's it mean? What's the bloody? I think the question we need to ask here is what has the bloody butler been doing for the past 25 years?
The butler
Stuck in
didn't
the
do it.
freezer.
Oh, yeah.
He does make notes.
I mean,
of that as
just
well.
like it's just laziness. It's just laziness. Honestly. Anyway,
Rimmer was never very good at cleaning, so
You got to clean the manor, then you got to clean the obstacle course, the manor's maze. You've got the jeep and motorboat, and Lara's treasure room to finish all that off as well.
yeah.
So the whole time you're receiving texts from
Were
Lara.
you
and
laughing
Butler
at
while you're going
Motorboat?
through all those things.
Nope. I was laughing at Lara's treasure trove.
Okay.
Right. So you gotta power wash the cobwebs out of Lara's treasure trove. Got you.
That's right. And while you're,
Good.
you can either do that in order as required by the game, or you can play in free mode and just pick any of one of those you want to do, which you might want to do
Okay.
because Croft Manor is huge to be cleaning the
Right.
outside of that. But yeah, if you enjoy Power Wash Simulator, then there's more of it and it's free, so that's good. I'm particularly looking forward to the next pack, which is going to be Final Fantasy VII themed.
They presumably got the deal to do the Tomb Raider stuff before Square Enix sold the Tomb Raider rights.
I'm assuming so, and I think
Yeah.
Either that or they've just taken a big gamble, Tim.
I think there was rumor that those rights have now been sold to Amazon, but it doesn't say if that's all the rights or if it's just for like this TV show that's in the works or how much has been paid. Because I think it said something like 60 million, but not on what
I
currency.
thought it was 600
that's been
million,
spent.
which was even more.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it 600?
Vietnamese dong.
600 million, but not in what currency. There's always kind of confusion going around.
Yes.
So Amazon may own Tomb Raider and it may not, but yeah, I'm assuming the license
knows?
rights were put in place before that was all shifted on.
I must admit, I've forgotten what a random selection of properties Square Enix own. I mean, I completely forgot they own the IP for Space Invaders. Operation Wolf. Remember Operation Wolf?
Yeah. So basically the Taito back catalogue.
Protected. Sorry, yeah, I thought it was
Taito,
Taito,
is it?
Taito.
Taito.
Sorry,
Taito.
I
I
realised.
say Taito, you say Taito.
I've only ever read it. I've never said it out loud. I've just realised this at this point in my life.
Sorry, I didn't mean to induce a moment of existential crisis on you.
Run like the wind.
So there we go.
Yes, and that's not the only former Square Enix IP I've been playing this week, because I very nicely got sent a copy of Hitman World of Assassination for the Hitman Freelancer update. Now, if you don't know what that is, because I didn't, that is the rebranding of Hitman 3, which I already owned and did not realize this until after I had redeemed the code and went, okay, that's
I own that.
That's silly. So Hitman 3 is now known as Hitman World of Assassination. You'll notice that's named on the stores, or if you've got it downloaded, notice that's changed around on your PlayStation or whatever. And the Hitman Freelancer, I believe, is a free update, and it's essentially remixing the levels into a kind of roguelike version of Hitman. And it's pretty cool because you start off and you get a safe room, an empty safe room except for one gun. And then you are presented with different targets, like 6 different contracts to pick from. And in each of those contracts, it says what kind of person you're looking to take down. So, for instance, you'll get the woman's voice who goes, Agent 47, there's a podcast being recorded in Finchley. Your target is one Timothy Kenneth James Hibbs, an ex-calendar model whose favorite activity is exploring the deepest depths of various game menus. And this menu in particular looks surprisingly like you, Agent 47.
Also, my mansion is filthy.
So once you picked your mission, your target, it will then bring up different locations around the map that built from if you have all 3 versions of the game and all the DLC and stuff, it'll add those to the selections available.
So like Hitman 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so I've got Hitman 1, 2, and 3 and all the DLC and stuff. So it just opens all the map up for me. And it will go, right, so you've picked this target. Here's 3 locations it could be in. You pick one of those locations, and then it will say how many targets there are to take out in that country you're going to, as well as your main target. And then it will give you a list of objectives, the ways to kill them like there is in the main game. But you get points based on the different types of kills that you can fit in. So it may be that you get 3 targets, and it will say, hey, if you can stab one of them, then you'll get 1,000 of the currency. If you can garrot one, then you get 1,500, and if you can poison them, then you'll get $2,000. And then once you've done that, it will then take you back to your safe house, which any weapons and things that you've picked up in your regular mission, you'll bring them back to your safe house. And then you can use your currency.
Is that just if you survive?
Yes, if you survive and you get to the end. And you can do the normal thing of escape, and if you've not hit the target and just want to get out there and keep yourself safe for fighting for another day. And this kind of gives you an incentive to do that as well, because you can go around, pick up all the weapons you want, go back if you really wanted to, and then move on to the next contract or give it a retry. And when you do that, you start building up an arsenal of weapons. Also, any currency that you've unlocked, you can use to buy more weapons and things for your cool hideout as well, your safe house. And then you move on to the next mission or to the next contract. The thing that's different here is once you die, you lose everything. All the items that you've accumulated, everything in your safe, you've lost it all. Time to start again.
What?
And it really, really, it throws a kind of spanner in the works to how you might usually play Hitman. It's taken all this existing content that you've got and remixed it into a way that makes the game feel fresh. And it's a very interesting way to play the game, especially for me, who absolutely renownedly sucks at playing Hitman.
Excellent. See, I mean, I'm like you. I often do I go in with such great intentions, but I end up just being a bull in a china shop. Is what happens.
I've gone it. I think so I tried it on PS2 and I didn't understand it, and I never went back. I think I played it at a couple of different events and went, all right, I'm old enough now. Surely I understand Hitman, and go in and play it. I still don't understand Hitman. And then I think when 3 was coming out, I went, do you know what? Now is the time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna invest in Hitman, and I picked up Hitman 3. And there was the whole thing of, hey, if you import Hitman 1 and 2, then it will take all those previous levels and make them all, give them the fresher mechanics and the shiny shines added and all that kind of stuff. And then if you got it on PS5, all that gets ported across as well. So I then found 1 and 2 on a deal, added those into the mix. So I went, right,
nice.
I'm going to start from 1 and go all the way to 3. And I'm on like the last level of 1 before I stopped playing. And this has got me back into it, going, I really should finish this game. But I'm enjoying freelance mode way too much. And it's an interesting way to play, because what they've done with since they've moved on and gone independent, well, not independent, I think they've now. Are IO independent now, or are they with another publisher? I think they're independent. Well, since they broke away from Squeenix, they have basically turned Hitman into a hub and gone, right, here's Hitman 1, 2, and 3, here's all the bonus stuff, here's sniper missions, here's the elusive contracts, now here's freelancer mode. There's just all this just dirge of content available, and I think pricing starts at $57.99, which is a pretty good deal for how much stuff you're getting available in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I previously owned the content before. I don't know how much of the extra content gets thrown in there.
So like the Hitman World of Assassination, so there's 2 versions. There's Hitman World of Assassination and Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Pack. So the former apparently contains all the maps and contents from Hitman 1 Game of the Year Edition, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3.
Wow. And how much is that?
So that's $70. So I'd imagine probably, do you know what? I'm
probably about £70.
I'm going to continue this wild ride of typing in stuff into the internet.
But while you're doing that, I was just going to say, they've also added VR support to it as well, which is one reason I've been meaning to go back to it.
Oh, God.
As well.
On the PlayStation 4 only. Yeah.
Yes,
so if you upgrade to the PS5 version, you can't play the PSVR stuff.
But I'm hoping that's one of the games they're going to sort of shadow drop announcement of free upgrade for PS5 at some time after PSVR 2 comes out, because it will be so much better on PSVR 2. It's one of the other reasons that I've held off is, I'm just going to wait for that, I think. Yeah, they've been really good at supporting the game, and as you say, making it its own kind of thing, making it its own hub platform type thing where they've just strapped a load of extra content in and strapped a load of extra value into it. But yeah, commendable, and you can see that this is obviously what they wanted to do and possibly couldn't do previously, but they've made a really good job of it, and I think they've proved their point in terms of this is how it should have been done and made a good job of doing it. So yeah, I think that is worth saying because it's commendable.
So Hitman World of Assassination, we get all of the Hitman 1 goodies, and Hitman 2 and Hitman 3 is £57.99 on the PlayStation Store.
That's the one.
And there is an optional 25 quid add-on called the Deluxe Pack.
Yes.
Which has all of the premium content from Hitman 2, all of the premium content from Hitman 3, and the 7 Deadly Sins collection as well. So a lot of game there.
So basically, if I didn't bother with Hitman 3 originally and then bought all the previous games and then they sent me this game, I would have had all that content without paying for it. But alas...
A little bit. Not going to lie.
Whoops.
Not going to lie. That's kind of, yeah. If so, do we know if people have got Hitman 3, which seems to be the thing that this is based around, does that delay essentially get grandfathered into the World of Assassination stuff?
I don't think they do. I wouldn't think they do. I'd have to double check.
Well, I don't know,
that.
because didn't they
trying
change
to find
it
this information is quite difficult.
Yeah, didn't they change it to be called Hitman Trilogy before they changed it to the World of Assassination thing? I think the rebranding may have changed what you get included in the game when you buy it, basically. But I imagine that they've been pretty good at supporting people that, initial purchasers. So I imagine they may have grandfathered them into it, but I don't know that for sure.
Anyway, it's it's really cool. You get to run around as a killer slaphead. Everyone loves Hitman for that reason.
Yeah, I've bought all 3 games. Haven't played them enough, but need to go back and play them more at some point.
So Hitman 3, apparently this is according to IO Interactive's website, Hitman 3 becomes World of Assassination, meaning that if you already own Hitman 3, you get Hitman 1 and 2.
Wow,
Yeah,
what a deal.
Yeah, it's a really good deal.
That's amazing.
Current Hitman 3 owners will get a free upgrade to Hitman World of Assassination on all platforms.
Okay.
Really good.
So I bet you're feeling really great about spending that money. I specialize in giving you the information you needed 3 weeks ago, all right?
You can feel better. I bought all 3 games individually on launch, so I did worse than you. So,
I was going to say,
no,
sort of
I got
Captain
my money's
Hindsight.
Tim Hibbs investment.
I would kind of wish that I'd asked for a Steam copy of the game. That I could play it on the Steam Deck.
Massive Deck. Oh, I bet you it's good on the Massive Deck.
I bet it's great on the Massive Deck. That would be so fun. But yeah,
my big baldy head on my Massive Deck.
Yeah, it is a really solid package to get into.
Solid package.
Anyway, so that's the kind of big title that I've been playing this week. I've been playing a much smaller title as well, but again, a worthwhile pickup on the Steam Deck. So this is a random one I got sent, and it's called Rhythm Sprout, Sick Beats and Bad Sweets. And as you may have guessed from that, that title,
name.
It is, it's a rhythm title. And I solidly was like, a rhythm game? Yes, I am sold. Send me that and I will play that. So this one, and it's got big kind of vibes of what was that cooking game where you can have like 4 players cooperatively playing a cooking game?
I was going to say Cooking Mama, but no.
You know the one.
Oh, the Team 17 one.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got like a million different clones from studios.
Overcooked.
Like, this one's about moving.
Overcooked too.
Overcooked,
yeah.
Yeah, it's got very big Overcooked vibes to it, and the way that how like the colors and the characters and all this kind of stuff, and even the environment that you're in. So you're playing as an onion knight, not to be mistaken for the Dark Souls character, but a knight who is an onion.
Or that dude out of Game of Thrones.
Yep. Who is wearing a tracksuit, and you are part of a vegetable kingdom that is led by a broccoli king called Brock.
So far, so normal. Carry on.
And the vegetable kingdom has been invaded, oh no, by sugary sweets. And to fend them off, the knight must go on a mission to fight the sugary sweets and also rescue the king's daughter. And the way you do this is you play a kind of a Guitar Hero looking rhythm game where it's the sort of like any path you're walking down, it's like the fretboard of Guitar Hero with the notes coming down. But there's only 3 different colored notes for you to do. You've got, I believe it's orange, blue, and pink. The pink's your right side, the yellow, the orange is your right side, left side, and the blue is your whatever you've set it to. So because I'm playing on the Steam Deck, it's my right side is the face buttons, the left side is the directional buttons, and then the bar is the shoulder buttons. But you can change that around to whatever you want on your keyboard and your controller and what have you. And because of the way this game plays, I really do recommend playing this on the keyboard and using the arrow keys to control it, because it's a lot easier than having to coordinate weird things with your hands spread apart and stuff. You can do it in one hand, and it makes it much easier. So what happens is
Good.
Yeah. So you've then got these different levels comprised around rhythm games that, I mean, it's all the same kind of rhythm game. You're doing the rhythm puzzles to step forwards and progress down the path, and then when you come across an enemy, the beat will then change slightly into a more upbeat kind of thing to what you're already doing. So that will then put you in the attack mode, and the attack mode will comprise of attacks and dodges. And anytime you miss a dodge, which is the blue button, you will lose a point of health. And if you lose 5 points of health, then you've got to start the level again if you want to progress. There's loads of levels. It's all different. It's all tracks made by the studio, so not like licensed tracks or anything. But they're all different enough for you to get along with it. Like the problem I had with that guns per set or bullets per second or whatever it was called, all the tracks sounded very samey, and it got a bit monotonous trying to play through this game, and it had a lot of looping and stuff. Whereas this one, different dance tracks as you play, and you can kind of get with them and enjoy them and stuff. And then there's different modifiers for each level that you beat. You can like mirror the notes to make it more interesting. You can play in double time and change things up, and then you can unlock different character costumes and weapons and things, and change the look of the game and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for what it is, it's a small rhythm game for £11.99, and it plays. I think it's available on all the consoles. It's available on the Steam Deck. It's available on PC and stuff, and it works really, really well. And it's at a very good price for you to take a punt on, I reckon. Yeah, I recommend that one as well. But I love just to say, I do love rhythm games, so this is right up my alley.
Do love a rhythm game.
I love a good rhythm game. I love it. You know, like indie studios tend to go, hey, I made this game because no one else made this game, and I've always wanted a sequel to this. Why has no one done a Buster Groove for me? I want Buster Groove.
That's actually not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been resorting to ROMs and imports and things.
All of which you legally own.
Oh, no, I do. No, seriously, I do. I have
Okay.
I have Buster Groove and an
we
imported
believe you,
version
Coleman.
of Buster Groove 2 on the PlayStation, and I did the ROM rips myself.
There you go. Well, now, Tim.
Yes.
I've got an important question for you.
Okay.
A very, very important question.
Yeah.
This is a game I understand that might have scarred you with your disastrous YouTube antics on novice mode.
Yes.
I'm glad to see it's taken you over 4 years to master this game sufficiently to review it. So, Tim, your long haul review of Ace Combat 7 is now upon us. So, hit me with those facts.
I still haven't started the campaign mode. I still haven't played the main game at all.
You've had 4 years. It was released on the 18th of January 2019.
Yes, but I have
sort your life out.
I have played a lot of it this week. I have to say, I was a bit put off. Like, I like the game. I played the bit of the VR stuff. I was a bit put off by the reaction of the Ace Combat community to my video. I was like, okay, I kind of, as you say,
because you were rubbish, mate.
I'd never played the game before, and I captured footage. I accidentally did it in the wrong mode, and everyone went mad at me. Like, okay, fine. But I have to say, I've been playing a lot of this game this week because, as we spoke about last week, I got my flight stick, my HOTAS thing, and I've been messing around with that. And it seriously elevates the game beyond what it was. I've just been playing the VR modes. I did say to my friend who came over yesterday, I was like, we could play the non-VR mode because he hadn't got used to the flight stick yet. So I was like, you might want to play without the helmet for a bit. And then we just ended up just playing in VR because it's so much cooler. There's only 3 levels that they've made in VR.
Oh, did you have one eye each? Yeah, what I eat.
No, we were
That's so
taking it in
sweet.
turns. But yeah, even he just really liked it as well. I was quite pleased with myself that I got my first S-class ranking. In that was slightly thanks to the joystick. It was slightly thanks to actually playing the game a bit more. But then also it was helped by unlocking more planes and more weaponry, which did make that a bit easier as well. Like the head tracking missiles and that just make things too easy almost. But yeah, like it's just been really enjoyable. I've played almost nothing but that this week. In a week where other stuff came out and other stuff was vying for my attention, I just haven't bothered. It's a PS4 game. It still doesn't look that graphically impressive. I really hope we get a PSVR 2 patch for this. I wish they just sell it as a separate game, just the VR content, because I think there's a load of people that would buy it and enjoy it but won't buy the full price game, although the full price game is vastly reduced at the moment, so it might be worth picking up. But yeah, silly time to pick up a flight stick and silly time to be playing more of this game when PSVR 2 is on the way and there hasn't been any games announced for it. The other reason that I played more of Ace Combat was also this week I tried to play E-Valkyrie, and I'd forgotten I'd heard this before, but I completely forgot that because they took the servers down, I thought the multiplayer wouldn't be available anymore. But the whole game is not available anymore, which is really sad because there was a whole solo portion, single player content to that was still really good. And I was looking forward to playing through that again in my HOTAS, but that's not available. I might also pick up another PS4 game because I've found a helicopter game that looks quite interesting that would be good to play on the thing, but doesn't play in VR. I also
Gunship 2000.
Re-downloaded Ultra Wings, but I haven't actually got around to playing that yet because I've just been having so much fun in Ace Combat. It really does make a difference with the flight stick. It's really, really good when you get used to it and get used to the nuances of it and stuff. I've really, really been enjoying that this week. So yeah, I've mostly displayed that. So we can move on fairly quickly from that because, as you say, it's a PS4 game and it is many years old now. But yeah, still good.
Mate, I tell you, when you get round to playing Knack, it's going to blow your mind.
Can you use your HOTAS to play Elden Ring?
I don't think so.
You should. If you haven't, you should.
Can you use your PSVR to do the big screen mode and use your HOTAS and then just play Elden Ring?
Yeah, I haven't actually tried playing in a game that doesn't have support for it. The buttons are all in random places, but yeah, I have to give that a go at some point, see if it does. But there's a particular set of games that are
sounds like you need a copy of Rhythm Sprout, Sick Beats, and Bad Sweets.
Unfortunately, there's only 3 VR games that have flight and VR support and HOTAS support. But yeah, Ace Combat, just those 3 levels playing again and again has kept me quite happy this week. So hey.
Well, talking of games that released ages ago.
Yeah.
In their original, this one originally was released ages ago. Its redo has recently released. Tim, do pay attention. This is how video game reviews are done.
Okay.
I have been playing Pocket Card Jockey.
Ooh,
Ride On. No, Pocket Card. So Pocket Card Jockey, Ride On, and that's the important little bit to remember. The Ride On.
Ride On time.
Is
Black Box.
Is Game Freak's redo of the original Pocket Card Jockey, which was released back in 2013 and was a bit of a cult hit, where basically a jockey.
I'm not a jockey.
Yes, you can be.
I'm too tall to be a jockey, Dan.
Yeah, well, you could be, Tim. You could be. You could live your dream. You could be a jockey.
Too small to be a basket.
In a way that involves cards.
Player. Too tall to be a jockey.
Well, I mean, look, you could whichever dream you want, Tim. We'll go with the jockey one.
Okay.
We can live that. All right.
All right.
So this originally released back on the Nintendo 3DS ages ago by Game Freak, people who you probably better know for being responsible for the Pokemans.
And Tembo the Bad Elephant. And that farming sim where you got to fight monsters.
They like pocket things,
why
don't
not?
they? They like things in your pocket.
They do like pocket things.
Pocket horse. Clop them on.
I have to say that a pocket stallion does sound... A pocket stallion does sound like something.
Let's get it back and feed it. Hey, pocket horse. Oh, You're a horse.
My pocket horse riding through the Hi, YouTube algorithm. Please don't sue me. Please don't sue me.
I'm
Divine
not sure that'll
comedy.
be recognised as music, so you're okay.
Wow, Tim. I'll bloody set the Ace Combat lot on you again. Sick him. Tell him he's doing it on novice mode.
Are you playing Pocket Horse on novice mode?
Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure because
Jockey.
Pocket Card Jockey. So the whole thing is, you are a jockey, and your purpose as a jockey is to win races on your horse.
You don't say.
You got to ride your horse. You start off with a young horse who turns into an older horse, and then eventually goes out to pasture. And then you've got to, as you ride more horses as they get older, you've got to get them to make sweet love to make more little horses.
You got a stud farm.
You do. You put them out to stud, mate. You've done your bit. Off you go. Have fun. You do you. Or that other horse, alternatively. So that is basically the setup of it. There is, of course, the completely obvious way in which you ride your horse and win races, and that's through the medium of solitaire.
Of course, it's how most professional jockeys do.
In order to make your horse go faster, you need to be good at solitaire, because of course you do. Why wouldn't you need to be? So basically, the quicker you clear hands of solitaire, the more horse energy you get, for want of a better way of putting it. And the more horse energy the more you are able to. Big horse energy. The big horse D energy is what we go for. And that allows you to move around the track. But Tim, what if you haven't got enough big hoss energy and you want more big hoss energy, right? What if you need more of it? Well,
just reach into your pocket, Dan.
No, that's exactly what you reach into your pocket with a tougher hand is what you do. And the tougher hands you succeed at, the more big hoss energy you get. So there are tactics to it. How you position your horse. You want to make sure you're on the inside of the track when it's a corner. Got to make sure you've got more energy than the other horses around you. That you've got the biggest hoss energy out of all the horses with energy, in order to succeed. But also make sure you've got enough energy for the home straight. It's actually quite a deep game. It's actually very good, but it does an absolutely terrible job at explaining all of the game's mechanics, which are actually quite complicated. The reason I played it is that it's one of the games that gets bundled in with Apple Arcade. So if you subscribe to Apple Arcade, you get it for absolutely no more than you're paying already.
You're surely not still subscribed to Apple Arcade, are you, Dan?
Well, I got it through my mobile provider.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually costing me nothing. So yeah, this game popped up on there. Vaguely remember it from back in the day, but never actually played it. But yeah, it's a good, fun, stupidly silly game. It is just absolutely insane. In the way that this is very particular kind of Japanese homegrown game. Only the way that could be. It's great fun. It is just silly. In the best possible way. It does take a while to get your head around it, just because it does a terrible job at explaining the game's mechanics. I mean, Tim, I've just told you big hoss energy. There's actually two types of big hoss energy.
Oh, no.
There's
overly complex.
No, there's three types, actually.
Oh.
You've got your big hoss stamina, which is very important.
Right.
Stamina. You've got your big hoss unity power. And
that's when you use underpowered game engines.
Right.
Or novice mode, let's call it.
Right, okay.
And there's some other mode, the energy whose name completely defeats me at the moment. But basically, be good at solitaire, pick up bonuses that are on the track to make your horse better, ride that horse until it gets old, then let the horse do some riding.
Where do the pockets come into it, Dan?
Happy days. Well, probably because the 3DS was in your pocket. A bit like Pokemon Pocket Monsters.
Yes. And because they're all cutesy.
Because it was on a portable system.
They're all cutesy horses, like cartoon pockets.
There's one with an Elvis quiff.
That's pretty cool.
No, but I mean, if you've got iOS, an iOS device, and you happen to have Apple Arcade, check it out. If you are still in a position to get a free trial of Apple Arcade, it's well worth checking out.
I'm happy to have neither of those things.
I know. and that is Okay.
That's fine.
I think it's also available on Android as well.
That's better. I don't really game on my phone
is
these
it?
days. I think the yeah, I've had enough of the gaming on the phone. I mean, I remember this coming out on 3DS, and because I listened to a lot of gaming podcasts, and I remember every single bloody Nintendo podcast banging on about this, and I kept looking up videos and things going, this doesn't look like anything special. I don't know why every Nintendo journalist and podcaster is going on about this flipping Pocket Horse, but there you go. I know I've got to stop calling
Pocket
it
Horse.
I know it's not called Pocket Horse. I've got to stop calling it Pocket Horse. Pocket Card Jockey. Ride on time.
Yes.
Good.
Big horse energy.
Got to get up. Play solitaire.
Play Pocket Horse. Anyway, that's the game I've been playing.
That's all the games we've
glad you found that amusing, Tim.
been playing. We should talk about some news. Do you want to talk about some news?
Let's talk about some
Should we
news.
say yay or shall we say nay?
We should say no. That's what we should say.
All right, we had a Nintendo Direct this week, and for some reason, people are going bonkers over it.
Why?
Well, what I say, every time there's one of these streams on, you may not like it,
Ugh.
I may not like it, but there's something for everybody on each stream. This was one of the streams where I went, I don't know if there's much on this for me this time.
It's. Do you know what does my head in with these?
What's that?
It's not it's not the voiceover, but where you've got the executive talking to you. I think it's nice that they do that they kind of do that translation. But it's a really cheesy American bloke who does the voiceover for the intros of the games. It's just like, oh, come to a magical world, blah 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 blah. So, I'm kind of over it now. It used to annoy me to begin with, but I think my problem with the Switch at the moment. I mean, if you look at the rundown of the games on this list, if they're not first party, they will all be available on PC. Since picking up the Steam Deck and just fully committing to it, I haven't even switched on my Switch. Yeah. So when they go, here's a bunch of Switch games, I go, I don't know if I'm going to play any of these because I can't be bothered to spend money on Did
them.
you say in that native, did your adenoids just pop out? Ow.
Yeah, I have to say at the moment I'm getting quite excited for PSVR 2, and if it's not on that at the moment, I don't care.
We're not talking about
Yeah,
that,
we're not
Tim.
talking
How
about
is
that.
not? We're not
Just
talking
putting
about
this in context for
flipping
me.
VR.
That's why I'm
And
less
somehow
excited for
if I started
these
doing this with
games.
Destiny, you would explode if I did this about Destiny 2. Just like, oh, that's very interesting. We're going to do a news segment about Nintendo. Can I tell you about the wonder that is PSVR 2? No, Tim, you cannot. Back in your hole.
I'm not interested in any of these games because
Jesus.
none of them are pro wrestling, and I'm much more excited for professional wrestling, as it were. So let's talk about that for
Well, there you go.
another 3 hours. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Can I just tell you one fun tidbit? It's not a game we're going to talk about.
Go on then.
I got a bit bored at work today.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit bored at work today. And I put into Google Translate Samba de Amigo.
Yes, right.
And it's man friend Samba is what that means. Man friend Samba. Amiga is the female friend.
It's a better
Amigo
name.
is a male friend.
Well,
Man friend Samba.
Samba's a kind of dance, isn't it? Doesn't it like
Yes.
Dance of the Friends?
Dance of the man friends.
Man friend dance.
I mean, isn't it just the male pronunciation? The masculine version.
No, Amigo is male friend.
Okay.
Amiga is female friend.
No, Amiga is it was like a PC alternative from Commodore.
Yeah, shut up. I knew you were going to say that.
All right, let's talk about the games.
Have you met my lady friend? She's got 64k of RAM.
I saw a few takes along the line of, hey, this last Nintendo Direct kind of spells out a willingness for a successor to the Switch. And I kind of agree, but I don't know why. I just want a different Switch. I'm kind of
Maybe because there isn't a Mario game in the lineup, but
Well, I was slightly surprised. I was expecting, so we're going to go through all these, but perhaps just cut to the chase on the elephant in the room, which is the new Zelda game. I really was expecting them to push that. So it got a release date on it, 12th of May, which is a lot sooner than I was expecting because I thought they were going to try and push that out and try and get away with making that like they often do with it's happened a couple of times with Zelda games, hasn't it? Where it's released on the old platform and the new platform simultaneously.
And the Breath of the Wild both were dual release.
Because I thought they were going to try and hold out for this, but maybe they just need to get it out the door.
Mm-hmm. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, 12th of May. That's coming out. We got a bunch of good looks at the footage, and a voiceover from what I'm assuming will be the big bad guy of this one. Didn't sound like Ganon. Someone new. We had like a ultra blood red sun moon thing going on, and all this badness afoot. And another look at the weird scabby hand that Link's got, the claws. Let's see. Oh, and a look at, he's kind of using his abilities to build machines now. Like he had some kind of land craft and some kind of flying craft. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
He's upcycling. You know, after the rampage of destruction he went on.
Had a little bit of Banjo and Kazooie nuts and bolts about it.
Nuts and bolts, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah. Right, let's go with the kickoff was Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 was announced in the last proper Nintendo Direct, although all we got was a title screen. Now we got to look at the gameplay, new creatures, new Pikmin types.
Dogmin.
There's a dog thing.
We got a release date of the 21st of July. And if you think that, that's pretty soon after the title reveal, don't forget, originally, I think Miyamoto said something like 8 years ago about Pikmin 4 coming out. So we've been waiting a while. It's got pushed on the back burner. I have highlighted the wrong game. I do not want to talk about Fashion Dreamer.
I'm going to go in with that. I have a question. Why do you want? Tell us about Fashion Dream. I'm going to make you talk about it now. Tell us about Fashion Dream. No. You've highlighted it. You've committed.
No backsies.
You have committed, Coleman.
I accidentally highlighted Fashion Dreamer instead of Samba de Amigo Party Central, which is coming out in the summer. So that's the one I will talk about.
Man Friend Dance.
Yes. If I was to pick any of these games in this lineup, I think it would be that one, because I do like a rhythm game and I do like a party game that me and my girlfriend and her family and my family and stuff can play together.
But you can do the love check thing as well.
Those games.
To see if you're
the love check. Where did that come from? The love check. Hey, if you two are in rhythm, you can. This game will tell you.
Did say do a love check with your friends as well, which was an odd choice of phrase.
Hey, look, we're not judging. I'm not judging.
That's fine,
Anyway,
do you.
For those who don't know, Samba de Amigo was a
or your friend
Dreamcast title. It had peripheral controllers that looked like maracas, and there have been different iterations of that, which also either use maracas or Wiimotes and stuff. And it's one of those, because it's a rhythm title, it's one of those ones that I quite like. Obviously, good fit for the Switch because of the Joy-Cons. Although, if they made a version, if they made a version for PlayStation and sold separate maraca controllers, I would totally pick that up.
I'm sure you could probably find some maracas and fashion some kind of Joy-Con holding gizmo.
Oh, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's I would prefer this on a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that rather than on the Switch.
For the real graphical fidelity.
Switch because of the. Basically.
Do you know what? I'm
going
to set you a challenge mode if you pick up Man Friend Dancing. I'll set you a challenge.
The other thing as well, I don't want to spend 50 quid on a game like this, so it depends what it's priced at, I guess.
Wait till you hear my challenge for you. That
Go
might tip the balance, all right? I know you like portable gaming because you can play it on your commute, all right? I know this.
I'm not playing a rhythm game with Joy-Cons on the tube.
You are.
I will be murdered.
Yes, you are. The Metropolitan line needs a party in rush hour.
Settle down.
Do it.
Make some new amigos.
It will be, or maybe if you're lucky, you might have an Amiga de Samba.
I am finding on the tube. I'm getting the same thing I used to have when the Switch first came out, and I was playing that on the tube, and people would like look over and stuff and see what I'm playing, or just ask me what I'm playing. And I'm now getting that with the Steam Deck, where people, but the reaction is very different when they go, hey, "What's that?" That's a Steam Deck. Oh, I'm sure my son would like one of those. How much are they?
Oh,
I think I told one guy. He went, "Oh, my nephew would love one of them. How much was it?" I was like, "550." And he just walked off. He didn't say anything.
Just looked at you mug.
Yep.
Just walked away.
Small PC. Anyway.
Well, no, I have to say, Steam Deck's awesome. This one, the next one you can talk about, I'm also very excited about, but not necessarily because it's Switch specific because it's coming to just about every platform.
Yes.
Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania. Love Dead Cells, love Castlevania.
Yeah. It's DLC expansion for Dead Cells called Return for Castlevania. We saw this announced at the last Direct as well. And now we've got a release date and gameplay trailer and stuff. 6th of March, I believe, as well as having Castlevania levels and bosses. You can fight Dracula, and I forgot the other character that you get to fight. But
Alucard? No.
Alucard is Dracula.
Alucard is Dracula. But backwards.
Yeah. But also, I think you can play. I mean, if the previous trailer was to be believed, I think you can play as Simon Belmont and the other guy. Maybe that sounds right. It was in the other trailer. Don't blame me if I'm wrong.
You could definitely interact with him. I don't know you could necessarily play with him from what they showed in this trailer.
And it's all remixes of the Castlevania music, and the Castlevania music is great.
Yeah, it's 51 of those tracks, apparently, 12 of which are remixed.
Nice.
14 weapons, 20 outfits, 3 bosses, 2 new biomes, Coleman.
Biomes?
Yeah.
I know, biomes. Good word.
Love that one. Tron Identity, which we've not really spoken about this before, but this one's from Bithell Games. Good old Mike Bithell. We love him on the show before. And it's a Tron kind of, it's like a graphic novel type game, but also a adventure game mixed in, and interesting idea. I think
that's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking Steam Deck on this one as well, but suited for
I'm thinking
suited
Switch.
for the handheld of some form. Switch makes sense. It's not going to be like a very taxing game, but yeah, Tron Identity. There's a new Tron movie in the works as well, so that makes sense. Bringing back Tron. Never failed Disney yet. Except for the 2 times that it failed Disney.
A Tron VR game would be very cool as well. I know you guys won't be mentioning that.
God.
It would be cool. It would pop. It would look nice.
It wasn't at the time. There was like an arcade machine where it was like 3D.
No, maybe. I don't know.
No?
But there was a game on VR that I think might have been free to play, but it was a multiplayer kind of like Light Discs type game.
Yeah.
But that just got shut down for lack of interest. So
yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's the risky play you run with VR. Deca Police? Deca Police? Who highlighted that?
That
one?
was just a bit of a surprise. I liked the look of it. Like, it looked very much like a big Japanese RPG that had some sort of procedural crime solving type thing in it. Cartoony style, which while didn't exactly set the world on fire, I think it will look good on the Switch. For the Switch, bit of a backhanding compliment, but still. But the gimmick to that was that you have a kind of real world setting and a virtual world setting, and it looked like a hacker was messing with the virtual world and messing with your appearance and other stuff as well. Yeah, like, I hadn't heard of it before. It looked interesting. Coming sometime this year. It's one that I'm going to put on my radar now, I think.
Big Digimon Cyber Sleuth vibes I was getting. The world
sort of
type thing that you're inside. Mm.
You wouldn't steal a car, would you, Coleman?
You wouldn't download a pizza.
You wouldn't download a Deca. Also, not usual fare, but one that I highlighted just because gave me massive vibes from old games that I enjoyed. And this is Disney Illusion Island. Gave me big Mickey Mouse and the Castle of
Illusion.
Was it
and
Illusion
also Land
as well?
of Illusion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was two.
It was
there was two
a
games back in the day.
It kind of gave me I felt like it was a strange Metroidvania Disney mashup. It was very weird.
I was thinking the later Rayman games. The 2D
yes, that's what
games.
I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
When it's 4-player and stuff. I don't know that I'll necessarily pick it up, but just because it gave massive vibes of that, and I quite like the art style. It's one I might be more interested in, although I'd be more interested if I definitely had 3 other people to play it with, because it looks like it'll be a lot of fun in multiplayer, basically.
Aww.
Yeah, that's the kind of experience I've had with these games. If you don't have people around for couch co-op and you can't get people along for online co-op, then you are kind of stuck on this single player on what is meant to be a multiplayer game and has big blown up screens and stuff. And it feels kind of weird when you're playing on your own. Yeah.
It sounds like actually there are areas of the game you definitely can't even access if you haven't got enough people.
Well, yeah, that was the same with Rayman.
Yeah, I don't know if you can switch between different characters and do stuff that way. They didn't really make that clear, but yeah. Anyway, as I said, one I'll be keeping a bit of an eye on anyway.
There was a South Park one of these games that only sold well because people were excited for Stick of Truth and thought it was Stick of Truth, and it wasn't. It was a 4-player platformer type game. And I think they ended up patching that because of, again, not many sales, so you didn't really have 4-player availability in a lot of cases. So I think they changed it so you could just switch characters on the fly to allow you into different areas and stuff. Moving on, Octopath Traveler 2.
Yes, please.
It's not that I'm excited for this game. I just hope it really does well enough to be like one of the games of the year. Because I've drawn this in my fantasy game critic game that we're playing over on Discord. So I would, that's going to be out on the 24th of February. Everyone should buy it, and it should review very well. There's a demo available now, which, much like the previous Octopath Traveler demos, you can play this game to a point and then transfer your progress over to the main game if you decide to pick it up. Which I love demos.
Lovely.
Loves Katamari.
I just want to say there's Katamari. I love Katamari. Look, it just gives me warm, happy feelings inside because it's insane. It's always nice to have Katamari on the go, and this one has got a corking soundtrack. So, depending how much it releases for, probably worth picking up, I guess. I'm not sure that Katamari games have necessarily aged that well.
Katamari Damashi. Na, 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 na. Well, this is ports of We Love Katamari Reroll. And the Royal Reverie. That makes more sense.
So basically, the extra bit is you get to play as the young king of Cosmos, presumably where he was the Prince of Wales for a while. I don't know how it works.
And according to the press release I got sent half an hour ago, it's available to pre-order right now.
Is it? Looks a mercy, Coleman.
There was a leak last week about the Nintendo Direct and a couple of different things in that. One of these was Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, but this was leaked as it was going to stealth launch during the Nintendo Direct. However, we just got a date, which is the 21st of April. But if you don't remember, this game was meant to come out quite a while ago, but because of the Russian-Ukraine situation and one of the countries in this game, well, the bad guys in this game, basically based off of Russia, it was kind of considered bad taste by Nintendo, and they put it on the back burner for a while. So finally going to be available now.
Still releasing it while there's a war, and it was okay for Call of Duty and other like war-like games to come out in that period. Apparently, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm not sure the original Modern Warfare 2 would have come out. The whole no Russian thing. I doubt that would have made its way out.
Just to kind of throw this bit out there. I don't think it was held back for that reason. I reckon it's a bunch of cobblers.
It's a good excuse.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of think you're onto something.
Yeah, because if that was the case and they really didn't want any bad press around it, then they would have gone, by the way, this is out, and maybe not even put it as part of the Nintendo Direct. But if they did, just gone, it's on eShop right now. Go download it if you want, whatever. Don't really care. But instead they've gone, get hyped for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. It's going to be on the eShop on the 21st of April. Get hyped. And I reckon it was a bunch of cobblers, and that's why it got delayed.
Possibly. Well, I don't know that it would have taken
Aren't you a cynical little sausage, Coleman?
I don't know. But I loved the first two games. I was quite excited for this when they first announced it. That excitement has quelled somewhat, and I don't know if that was just the pre-mentioned, like, being more on the PSVR stuff at the moment, or just the fact that it's still a few months away. I don't know. I probably will pick this up at some point, but then I remember the first game particularly well and the second one reasonably well. I'm not sure I can be bothered. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see nearer the time when it comes out, but I'm not as excited as I was.
Something that did get stealth announced though was Metroid Prime Remastered, and again, this was originally leaked from way back that there was a trilogy of Metroid Prime ready to go, which wouldn't be too surprising as I think 1 and 2 got re-released on Wii U. So would make sense to port this over to Switch. But this is a remastered version for the Switch with new controls and stuff. You can play it like a regular first-person shooter, which, like I said, for GoldenEye last week on the Xbox, it plays a lot better when you have that control. New improved resolution and all that kind of gubbins available on the Switch.
Doesn't it strangely give the option to have the original slightly miserable control scheme, should you so want as well, but for reasons that slightly
at least they went out of the box, improved controller. In the menu somewhere, ability to put it into the old version.
Yeah,
not
that
the
makes
other
more
way
sense
around.
than what they did with GoldenEye.
Yeah, I know.
But I like the fact that they took the time on the stream to explain how joystick controls work. It was like, that wasn't necessary, Nintendo. We know how that operates. But yeah,
they're gonna start next time. They're gonna tell you about the wonders of multiplayer gaming on the internet. Is the next thing they got up their sleeve.
I think this is one where this elevated this whole thing for a lot of people, because a lot of people have been clamoring for this game for a while. I don't have much affinity for the old games. I didn't play them back in the day, so I'm not that excited about it. I looked it up. It's $34.99, and it's not quite on the whole impulse purchase. I guess that if it is 3 games, then that's reasonably priced for what you get in return. But yeah, I'm not that bothered about it at the moment. I might pick it up at some point in the future, basically, but yeah.
If you're a massive fan who's been clamoring for a remastered version, I could see why you would pick this up for 35 quid. But as someone who wants to, played it back then, would like to play it again, does not want to pay 35 quid for it, even though it's improved.
Yeah.
But if you are interested, that's available now, the digital version. Or if you're a collector that wants a physical copy, that will be available on the 3rd of March. Apparently, the pre-orders are selling out quick, though. Okay. Yes, there is a gap. Digital now,
it's just odd.
Physical 3rd of March.
Yeah,
I think that's because Nintendo went, we need something to announce right now that's available right now.
We want a shadow
this
drop
Metroid
something.
Thing's ready to go. Physical, but we need a physical version because we know our physical games, collectors go nuts for them, and people like to resell them and stuff. So we should put out a physical version. Not ready? Okay, we'll do one and then we'll do the other. Maybe the people that are going to buy the physical copy for collectors' reasons, maybe they'll get impatient and buy a digital copy to play and then a physical copy to collect. Maybe they get 2 versions of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
double dip.
Nintendo know where their bread is buttered. Lastly, we got the big announcement update for the Nintendo Switch Online service. If you are a normal subscriber, you get the Game Boy. And if you are a expansion pass subscriber, I don't know what they call it, extended, you get Game Boy Advance added to the service. So with the Game Boy games, you get a choice of Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color.
Right.
Most of that means if you have a Game Boy Color game, you have the option to play in screens that represent all of those versions of Game Boy.
Yeah.
And
that's exciting.
Yes. If you are playing the advanced version of games, they have added all the e-reader content, which I don't think was ever available in the UK. I don't know. I never owned an original Game Boy Advance.
No.
I think that was a US, Japan type thing. But apparently if you're like a hardcore collector and you buy, games for the Advance, which are now shooting up in price, if you wanted to go get a pack of e-reader cards, they're like $100 to $200. So it makes sense to add it into the ROMs.
I downloaded both of these just before the show. I thought I'd get a chance to have a quick look at the library, maybe play a quick game of Tetris. But yeah, I downloaded both, and it's telling me that I don't have a Nintendo Online account anymore. I'm like, when did that run out? I don't know how long. And the thing is, I had a family pass for that. So there was loads of people that were previously with Big Red Barrel that were on my family pass, or were on the Big Red Barrel family pass. But I didn't know it ran out. So sorry, anyone that was there that was on that. I didn't know it run out.
To answer your question, Tim, about a year ago.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
I
don't use it very much. I'm not sure it's worth me re-upping for that one, I'm afraid. But hey. But yeah, that's a shame because I was actually looking forward to playing the Game Boy stuff. But
what I found particularly funny, there's a few YouTubers I follow who, along with covering a lot of Nintendo stuff, they cover a lot of kind of retro stuff. And one of those being, a lot of them go on about different emulators, and they're always talking about Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. And then as soon as they announce this, hey, here's an opportunity to pay for more ROMs on your Nintendo Switch. I know that they've added like online multiplayer and improvements and stuff to it.
Yeah.
But they've gone nuts because they're like, yes, another opportunity to give Nintendo money to pay for these that I own on several different emulation consoles. Like, why are you getting so excited about this? You know you're not going to bother. You're going to be putting this on your Steam Deck, on your Iron Neo, on your Pocket Retro thing, and then you're going to be playing it on that instead. So I found that very humorous.
Just quickly before we move on from the Direct, I just wanted to mention they quickly mentioned on the stream that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Wave 4
Birdo
was coming in spring, and they mentioned I think was it Yoshi Island or one of the courses that's coming out. But the particular thing I wanted to mention is they mentioned that Birdo is coming to the game because she previously wasn't part of the available characters. I found out through this, I think through Martin Robinson put up a thing on Twitter. I did not know this though. Did you know what Birdo is called in Japan?
Your mum.
No, it's is it Cassandra? Something really
close.
Like, or Susan
Catherine.
or something like that.
Catherine. Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like a really simple name.
It's like, what?
That's quite random.
I did know that.
But in Japan, that was what we know as Mario Brothers 2 was Doki Doki Panic, wasn't it, in Japan?
Yes.
Right. Is that where Birdo came from originally? I wasn't aware of that.
That's where Birdo comes from.
But that was just odd. Like, why did someone in, presumably Nintendo America, why did someone in Nintendo America went, no, can't call her Catherine. Birdo. Like,
Birdo.
what? Where did that come from?
Chuck's eggs, isn't it?
Really odd.
Well, yeah, it's slightly firing them out the wrong orifice, because an egg is more of a kind of a cloaca type object.
That's what's on
rather
her
than
face.
your
I don't
map.
think they wanted showing her cloaca anyway. That's not very
Oh my
Nintendo.
God.
But I tell you what, Bird's got it easy. That cloaca does everything. It's amazing. It's a one-stop shop for all of your... Anyway, I'm going to move on.
Right. We've run out of news time, so just to gloss over these last few bits very quickly. Turtle Rock, they announced that they are done with Back for Blood. They're not releasing any more content added, which I think they had like a 5-year plan on that game, and they got through 3 expansions. They did all right, and they kept it on Game Pass the whole time. They have said that they are going to be supporting the game still. The problem being is they tried to make a AAA game. They're a very small studio. Didn't really work out for them in the long run. Didn't sell as well. I think one of your problems there is launching it on Game Pass, because there was... I mean, I pre-ordered the game on PlayStation, cancelled the pre-order because you launched it on Game Pass, and played it that way, and went, maybe I didn't need to buy this. I did enjoy it. Couldn't get anyone else to play it. And randoms are not fun. But they did note that it's going to be available to play via PlayStation Plus Extra, Premium, and as well as Game Pass Continued. So you will still be able to play the game if you wish to, in a much more satisfying price than however.
There was a
much
lot
they
of games
charge you
that
to
announced
buy
they're
the game
closing
now.
down this week as well. A lot of games for service stuff followed. Marvel, Avengers, and other things. Knockout City and stuff closing down. But yeah.
And then the other thing, only because we briefly spoke about this last week, the day before, and our theories over whether this is a scam or a real game. And
Oh, God.
I think literally, because Tim sent the link over about an hour after we finished recording, gave our theories on it, and then IGN went, hey, we've got the gameplay video for the day before. So, wow, timing on that. So after I finally finished editing the show and sat down and watched the video, I went, oh, this looks very different to the videos they put up previously. Almost like they weren't real
boring.
gameplay. And now this is gameplay, but like an engine demo type thing.
It's like 2014 called, and once it's the Division Alpha back, pretty much was what I was. And that's being very kind.
That
a
is
lot
being
of
very
people. A
That
lot
is
of
being
people
very,
were
very kind.
complaining that there's a lot of assets that are just taken from the what's the engine? I'm forgetting the engine's name, but the store where they put up a lot of stuff for the engine, the Unreal store. A lot of those assets are just like
stock
taken
stuff.
wholesale and stuck in the levels in multiple places and stuff like that. I think it's a case of someone. I don't necessarily think it's the con that we thought it was, but I think it's a very small team of a very small studio trying to be very ambitious and then realizing how difficult it is to live up to that ambition. And I think in doing so, they're going to disappoint a few people. But
yeah, I think they're working backwards from their ambition and a promise that they've made publicly, and now like, oh man, we actually need to put that together. And it turns out really quite difficult. I mean, wow, it is what a generic looking game of genericness and just being generic.
If you compare the two previous trailers to this gameplay trailer that contains hardly any gameplay,
it's you with your air quotes.
It's night and day, because those previous trailers, like I think one of them that shows you driving around and coming up across survivors and then opening the back of a truck and then all these zombies pouring out. Another one, it shows you like walking through the city streets and then going into like a gigantic department store and going around multi-levels while you're seeing zombies clambering over and people clambering over and stuff. And like really cool, highly detailed stuff. And then you're looking at this, it's just two people walking for about 8 minutes of the 10-minute trailer and then a couple of straggling zombies. Like, this is not what you... And, you know, we've seen enough Ubisoft demos to go, yeah, I know what a vertical slice is, mate. It does not even look like the vertical slice. It's from a behind camera, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Really.
It was poor. And then there's randomly at the end of it, they've got voiceover man in to go, day before, coming soon, in the future, on a computer near you,
yeah.
At the end, randomly.
Also, lots of people pointing out similarities with other trailers and bits that had been lifted almost wholesale from like Call of Duty trailers and other things. So, yeah, it all looks a bit fishy.
It was Force Gaming initially. They pointed out and then put up a series of clips that compared the trailer to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's Zombies mode trailer that had initially came out. So you can see for yourself if you want to look them up. But I'll put links in the show notes, obviously. But yeah, it's not looking good for a game that was stupidly overly impressive.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to end the show.
Yes, we have done all the things.
We've done all our contractually obliged things. Tim, there's still a big gaping chasm where there should be Tabletop Tuesday.
Oh, yes, that is the case. There is no Tabletop Tuesday for at least the next week, which is good because it's on Valentine's Day.
Now,
and that was already causing
the days
me a problem,
of the week go as follows. The days of the week go as follows: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
A building collapsed, not the entirety of Stoke Newington. There's no gaping chasm in place of the loading bar.
Look, I'm trying to make it sound more exciting than it is, all right?
Yeah. I'll try and get an update for...
It's a gaping chasm. There is a void.
I'll try and get an update for next week's show, but they have been told that they can reopen on the 18th of February is when they originally told. I don't know that they're necessarily going to hit that, but I'll try and have more details and get an updated thing next week to see if we are back for the week after. But currently, loading bar is closed because building collapsed in Stoke Newington.
Boo, boo. Curse you, gravity.
I could see that being a massive improvement to my night if I was sat there playing a board game and then Tim goes, ladies and gentlemen, and then just falls into a sinkhole.
Wouldn't it be good? Just a gaping chasm once again. Anyway,
Emergence Day
what
is
other thing
happening
you should do?
in Stoke Newington.
If you are sat about wondering what happened to your Tuesday, good news, there's something else you could do. You could go to tpublic.com/store/BRB. That's right, sweet merch could be yours. And you should go and get sweet merch, put it on your face or your chest or about your person or stick your stickers on things. All the fun you could have. It's a day out in front of the internet where you haven't gone out.
I was just going to say, on the store, there's currently a 35% off sale, so it's a good time to go and buy something from the store as well. So there you go.
Will it be available tomorrow when the show
off.
goes out?
Yes, that's why I'm saying it.
Good. Okay.
Sure.
Just making sure. If you've enjoyed this show, thank you for listening. You
I have.
Little weirdo. But you can get in contact with us by going to bigredbarrel.com. We have a comment section there that you can comment on. We have a link to our Discord. We have a Facebook and a Twitter at Big Red Barrel. We also have a YouTube channel, which is Big Red Barrel TV. And of course, links to all those are available on this here show's show notes. Just let's look at whatever player you're looking at or the webpage, look at the bottom of the show notes, links to everything available for you to click on and find. And while you're there, you can say it loud, you can say it proud, you can say to us, you could say, I have a question. And then you can ask us a question. And then we can have a look on the show. We've got a couple of questions in. We've got a bit of a backlog actually to get through. Dan, you can pick a question.
Yes.
As you are scared for time.
Okay.
Do the top one, because I think it's a good one and it's relevant.
That's too much to talk about, I think, in a short period of time.
Okay.
All right, okay. I have a question.
We'll do it next week.
Can you think of any games that don't respect or do respect players' time? I'm going to go in with games that don't respect players' time. And that is Destiny 2. Just saying.
Ooh.
Any game that makes you grind too much.
The grinding has got a bit ridiculous.
Okay, I can see that.
Also,
I don't feel it respects me.
Yeah, also, every Ubisoft game I feel doesn't respect my time anymore, which is why I don't have time for them as much.
I would hone that in, especially on Assassin's Creed, which they have bolstered up the amount you have to grind so they can then sell you a pack to go, we can make the grinding less severe for you to actually progress in this game at a decent level.
Yeah, that's not a respect of players' time.
Another game, Gran Turismo 7, does not respect players' time. It's far too onerous to navigate absolutely everything in that game. Anyway.
I'm going to, and I will preface this with, I do love this game, and I have played a lot of hours, put a lot of hours into this game, but similarly to Destiny 2, I'm going to say Marvel's Avengers, just because at one point, that game was playing very smooth, and I was progressing super fast, and then one day they put out an announcement and went, by the way, we're going to add to the grinding, so it will take you longer to level up your characters. And then, which they said was for challenge, or it was going too quick for players, or something along those lines. And then later on, they added in on their store packs for you to progress quicker, XP boosts and stuff, which they then took away so you couldn't buy, but they kept the packs there for you to earn. And
you naughty little sausages.
I can
naughty
give
sausages.
I can give 2 more Marvel answers that are either side of that equation. Both games that I love, but that fall either side of that equation. Marvel's Midnight Suns does not respect your time, but I still love it. Apparently it undersold, and they're blaming the release window when it came out. So please go and buy that game, even though I'm criticizing it for not respecting your time, because the combat is still fantastic in that game, but the Abby stuff doesn't respect your time. But on the flip side, Marvel Snap is a game that definitely respects your time, makes everything quicker, has actually sped up animations and done loads of stuff. Dan, you still need to fight me in that game. I fought one of my friends this week. The battle mode is quite cool. It works quite well. It's good fun.
Do you know what's quite frustrating about the battle mode, though?
What's that?
The one thing, and then we're finishing the show. Also, help me God. Is that the fact that if you go into battle mode, your battle code gets regenerated every single time. You do not have a single battle code ID. So
what, the battle code for the battle mode?
It would be good if,
mode. That's why it's a battle code.
It would be good if you had established friends that you could see when they're online and just offer to fight them. Like, that would be a good addition to it. But I think it works well for what it is so far, basically. And it's good fun. And
thank you, Stingo, for
your question. Right.
Yeah.
We done?
Did we mention there was a question from Stingo, by the way, or not? But hey.
I just said thank you, Stingo. Ed did ask if I'm looking forward to Weird Al Yankovic next week. Yes, I am. There you go. Question answered. We did.
There you go.
We
did
that
one
questions.
done with.
Lovely.
That's off the list. Nice one.
Cool.
All right, we're gonna go now. We blooming are.
Good.
Look, we're going.
Gotta go.
We're going. Good. See ya. Bye. Thank you ever so much for listening. All that's really left is for me to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
Like a sinkhole engulfing loading bar Stoke Newington, I have been the epitome of chaos.
Why did you add the word golfing in there?
Anyway.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble's not a phrase you often hear in the context of golf that much, is it?
The hell?
Nor is gaping chasm.
Engulfing.
Engulfing, not as in ingolf.
Engulf. Like engage.
Like N-dubs, but golf.
Or N-dubs.
Yes. N-dubs. Jesus Christ, Tim. What?
Well, they reformed recently.
You're so down. If you want to let Tim know how down with the kids he is, do send him a message, please.
He was repeating me. And they did
reform.
engage,
and then we went to N-dubs, but
Oh, okay.
They're
Engage is older.
Alrighty.
But, you know.
Yes. Right, we're going to go. We really are this time. Thank you so much for listening.
Are we going?
And until next time, dear listeners,
We're gone.
toodle bye.
Your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
And getting a bit more in depth with it at some stage.
I think we need to move on since Coleman is having his own private disco.
Yay. And we're back.
Yay. Well done, you, Coleman.
Who got smart lights this week?